Where are the men? Where are the men? Because why is it anytime I'm talking to a man and explaining some kind of injustice that's happened to a woman, at some point we have to say, imagine that was your sister, imagine that was your mum, for them to understand and see the injustice and feel some empathy.
It's kind of like the empathy men look for when we talk about why paternity testing should be a mandatory thing, right?
When it comes to women, have you noticed that we've never had to say, imagine that was your dad, imagine that was your brother? We don't have to relate it to somebody that they care about.
I don't know. I've had to try pretty damn hard to get women to even consider things from a guy's point of view when it comes to paternity testing.
To get them to care, to get them to see the injustice and have some empathy towards the person, the victim in the situation. And I know some women might be like this too, and this might not be all men, but majority of the time, when you're speaking to a man, we have to relate it to somebody they would care about. Like, there's no instinct to protect. There's no instinct of this is wrong, this shouldn't happen, and to protect anyone. Like for me, when I see a situation where there's injustice taking place, like where say there's a man attacking a woman, or even if it's like someone's getting bullied or someone's getting beat up or something like that, if I see something like that, I don't even think this person's bigger than me, or maybe I should be a bit more concerned for my safety, but it's just this literal instinctive reaction to help the victim, to stop this situation happening and just make sure the person is okay.
See, one thing that I learned growing up is that when something's going down and other men try to get involved, things escalate super quick. And where I'm from, that could easily end with you having a knife in your chest. So when I see things going down, I'm not eager to jump in and play Superman when it comes to people I don't know. And now that I have a kid, I have to be even more considerate. Because if I jump into something and lose my life because of it, it's very unlikely that the person I tried to protect will even try to make sure my family's okay.
But men are stronger, biologically, physically, you are stronger. You can defend yourself more in a situation like that. And I know some men would jump in a situation like that. I know some men would protect other men, other women, whatever. I know that. But a lot of the time, people just don't care. And of course, you should be concerned for your own safety, but there's no like call for help or do something. Or there's just no sense of like protecting or caring for each other.
Well, calling for help is fair enough, but directly getting myself involved in something I know nothing about is a big risk. And if it goes left, chances are I'll be left to fend for myself.
Like there was this one time where I was staying with my ex, and the apartment next door to him was this couple. We were woken up at 7 a.m. by noises of a woman screaming. Like on the other side of the bedroom wall where we were sleeping is this other apartment where this couple lives. And the woman was literally screaming for help. And then she would go quiet and kind of be crying and almost like pleading, kind of like you couldn't make out the words, but it was like muffled, but you could very much make that out. And we were both like looking at each other really disturbed, like what is going on?
Rather than looking at each other waiting for the next episode, why not call the police?
And then there was times where her screaming got really loud, as if someone's coming at her. That was literally what it sounded like.
So this wasn't even a one-off thing. I wonder what they did to help.
And it just made me jump out of bed, and I was like, we have to go over there. Like, we have to at least knock on the door, do something to disrupt this situation, because it sounds like someone's life is in danger. Like, we have to do something. And he just looked at me and said, no, we're not getting involved. Like, he was very much disturbed by this, but he was like, no.
While the situation isn't exactly the same, someone close to me lost their life getting involved in something they shouldn't have.
We're not getting involved in this. And I'm looking at him like, you're 6'1". Okay, you might not be the biggest guy, but you're big enough. You can probably defend yourself in most situations.
Yeah, and when the guy answers the door with the knife and shows your boyfriend what time it is, what you gonna do?
Anyway, it was my ex's apartment. He was like, no, you're not going over there. We're not doing that. We're not getting involved. We're just not getting involved. And he was very much someone like, which I realized after, which was very much, if he doesn't get something out of a situation, he's not going to do too much to help people. Like that was evident. And this was clearly a red flag. Like really, this was the beginning of the end for me.
Notice how she was ready to be reckless with his life, but not her own? This is why men are largely regarded as disposable.
So anyway, we call the police. I call the police actually, and I let them know this is what's happening. This is the address. Please come soon as you can. Someone sounds like they're in really extreme danger. And it was so uncomfortable. It was so hard to sit there and just hear these noises, knowing they were right there. Like I really wanted to run. And me now, I don't care what anyone would say. I would be over there. I'd be knocking that door down. I would be like, what the fuck is going on over here? But this was like over 5-6 years ago.
It's easy to talk big now.
And I stupidly listened to my boyfriend at the time. Anyway, the police came like 5-10 minutes after, and these noises were still going on. They knocked on the door next door, and everything went quiet after that. And then the police came over to my ex's apartment and was like, are you sure this was happening in this flat? Because they seemed completely fine. They were acting normal, like there was no issue. And I'm like, yeah, the noises have stopped since you've come. But that was definitely happening. It's definitely on the other side of this wall. And that is the only apartment there. It was a corner apartment. That's the only one there. It's definitely coming from them. Anyway, the noises did stop after that. So the police showing up clearly scared the man. We didn't hear anything after that. But that knee-jerk response in me, where it was so hard to hold myself back and not go over there. Like, why don't more people have that? Like, I get it if there's a situation where there's lots of people attacking somebody, attacking one person, you might not want to get involved because you know you're going to get battered as well. I get that, but like, do something, call for help. Like, just like, it wouldn't be physically possible for me to walk past or leave the situation doing nothing. And if more people had that, especially men who know they can defend themselves in that situation, who know they can get together and fight the injustice, like, where are you? Where are the men?
I don't know about other guys, but I'm at home with my family. And I'm not just about to go around risking my life for random people. Of course, every situation is different, and when things are popping off, you don't really know how you're going to react. That said, it seems to me that for years now, men have been told that they're toxic and women don't need them. So why would they feel the need to risk it all for a total stranger?
And I know we say, oh, men used to go to war, but it's true. It's true. Men did used to go to war.
Yeah, some men did go to war, and a lot of them were forced. So much for bodily autonomy. Right?
What's happened? Like, how can you just sit by and hear that, knowing someone could get really badly harmed, possibly even, and you're just sitting there doing nothing? Like, where are the men?
Most I'd be doing in a situation like she described is calling the police. I'm not Goku. I'm not out here looking for the next guy to test my strength against. But if you want men to take on that protector role, stop telling them they're not needed and that independent women don't need no man.
Why'd you end up popping your balloon? I know you said you're a doctor, and I think that's great. I know you said you recently graduated school, something along the lines of that, and I'm looking for someone a little bit more seasoned in their career, a little bit more financially stable and things of that nature. So I did appreciate everything you said. It's just that
you can't save them all. I'm learning. As time goes on, I'm learning. You cannot save them all. This man graduated medical school, residency, and is now starting his big boy job, and you look at him in the eye and go, I need someone more seasoned in their career, more financially stable.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like she has no concept of long-term planning. If this is how she is with everything in her life, her future's cooked.
He's not just any doctor, okay? He's an anesthesiologist. Big dog, okay? In my mind, they're always going to be the big dog. And you looked at him in his eyeballs and said, nah, I'm good. You need to be more established.
She's lost her mind. Now, you have to take this little chart here with a grain of salt, but it showcases what an anesthesiologist can earn. And of course, there are factors that'll play a role in that. But even on the low end, you're looking at $350K a year.
Delusional. Like, I'm really at a loss for words. And I know people come online and they give their 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cent about healthcare workers. I know this healthcare worker did this. Like, everyone's a healthcare worker expert, right? I get it. But when y'all say stuff like this, you know what? I'm not even going to correct her with this one. This is the situation where you just got to smile and nod. Because those who know, that's a bag for life. That's $250 out the gate, $300 out the gate, for life. But yes, shout out to all of the anesthesiologists, all of the ones who are in residency, medical school, the ones who are aspiring to be anesthesiologists. Shout out to the CRNAs, because they get the bag too, respectfully. This was embarrassing. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment for her comment, but when I really think about it, she thought she ate with that. She really thought she ate with that. And he literally just chuckled. He's like, I understand. You can't save them all.
That's wild. And I wonder what she thinks she's offering the guy who's making the kind of money she's chasing. Because it sure as hell isn't her brains.
What's wrong with guys these days? I can never find a good man.
Maybe it's you.
Me? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, since we friends, I can be honest with you. Sometimes you can be a little mean. And your conflict resolution, terrible. Every time a problem happens, you're running. And your emotional level of maturity is probably the lowest I ever seen. Like every time you get mad at a dude, you block him. And then after blocking him, you expect him to chase you.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with a little chase, all right? I mean, look at me. What you expect?
I mean, you look good, but you still need to learn how to handle conflict. You know, you're supposed to talk through things, process them, you know? And your choice in man, the most terrible I ever seen. Like, I never seen you date a good man. Every dude you dated was a player. Cheating on you every time, but then you be like, oh my God, I think I can change him. No, you can't. You can't change him. He gonna keep cheating, keep cheating, keep cheating.
Okay, I get it. Maybe I got some things I gotta work on, all right? Is that it?
Oh no, I mean, if you want some more truth, I can tell you. You're cooking, terrible. You don't even season your food enough, and it's just always a little bland, and that's not gonna keep nobody happy. And your attitude, look at you. Your arms crossed right now. Don't uncross them, cross them back. That's how you eat. You got an attitude problem.
This is only a skit, but there's nothing false about what the guy was saying. I've known and still do know women who have the absolute worst taste in men. Until this day, they wonder why they're single moms. Women always boast about this special intuition, but it never seems like they put it into practice.
I think a lot of us women are in a point in our lives where we don't want to be with someone who can't give us what we can give ourselves. I feel like there was a period where guys could kind of just show up and just have their personality and give us attention, and that was kind of enough. But at this point, I have friends who give me the attention that I need.
Then go and date your friends. Why are you over here complaining to the world on TikTok?
I have money, I have a job to give myself the things that I need. So if they're not contributing by I don't know, doing something else, or if they're not even meeting that baseline of validating my feelings, whatever, why would we keep them around? And I think that's why so many of us are single now, because we don't want to settle for being someone's mommy.
And guys don't want to settle down for being someone's wallet. Even though women can make just as much as men these days, they still want the guy to pay for everything.
In the nicest way possible. We don't want to settle for having to do absolutely everything. And I think that's fair. When I think back to the most recent ex that I dated, not only did I make all the food every single time, paid for half, if not more of everything, was not validated or was gaslit for everything, why would I keep that in my life?
That's what guys have been saying for the longest time. If a man can't provide more for a woman than what she can provide for herself, a lot of the time, she's not going to be interested, at least in the long term. And this isn't something guys should get mad about. It's just a part of the human experience. Men and women are different, and we look for different things when it comes to finding a partner. And it's because of that humanity's been able to thrive.
Where are all the good men in? They're everywhere. But you told them to stop approaching. So they did. Now, they're not approaching you. And you're confused as to why. Because you told them to. And now you're asking, well, why aren't men approaching? Because you said not to approach. They're doing what you said. Last I checked, most of the time, men do what they say they're going to do. And, if a woman says, please don't approach me, they won't approach. And when men are straightforward, men are very straightforward, most of them. Like I said, I'm not generalizing all of them, but most men are very straightforward. So if you say, don't approach me, it doesn't mean, yes, please approach me, but don't. Because that makes no fucking sense. Men are not mind readers. So if you want a man to approach you, maybe you should approach him first, because your buying signals aren't making any sense unless we start dropping handkerchiefs like we used to back in the day.
She's not wrong about any of that. We all know how women can react to a guy if the wrong type of man makes a move. And it's not pretty. And the woman in the next video is going to kind of follow on from this.
Okay, so I can't speak for all the ladies out there, but I can answer that based on my personal preference and perspective. First of all, will be the gym. After I'm done working out, not in between sets. Or if you guys want to do a Pilates or a hot yoga class, I can guarantee you're probably going to be the only man in class. Secondly, I would say probably coffee shops or bars. I don't know what's up with, you guys are saying that single men don't hang out at coffee shops, but I personally feel like it's a great place to approach people. And me and my single girlfriends would love to do bar hopping, the cute little bars. And number 3, any meetups over hobbies or similar interests. For example, a run club, a pickleball league, a pottery class, or a cooking class. I think most women out here would prefer to meet their potential partner in real life instead of meeting them on dating apps. So when they introduce their partners to their friends, They can be like, oh, I met my partner at a farmer's market or through a run club instead of, oh, I met him on Hinge.
This comment is one that I just had to share. Those are all places I've been told specifically not to approach women in. I think this comment summed things up perfectly, and he's not wrong about that. It's not always easy to tell who wants to be approached and who doesn't. So guys who are a little more on the shy or reserved side, just don't bother. Ain't no one trying to be humiliated in the middle of their gym. Just like a woman said in an earlier video, if women really want to take control of their dating life, they're gonna have to start making that first move. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.